Good day guys, I am Borja from Bsit 2103 and for today's video I am going to answer the activities here in chapter 11. The first activity is entitled Security Threats and Vulnerabilities. Instructions: read the security threats and vulnerability scenarios. Drag each scenario to its corresponding type of security threat. The first one is sending a virus to reformat a hard drive. I think this is on data loss or manipulation. The second one is altering data records. I think this is also here in data loss or manipulation. The third one is preventing legal users from accessing data services. I think this is on disruption of service. The fourth one is stealing scientific research reports. I think this is information theft. The next is stealing a company's user database. This is also in information theft also. The next one is overloading a network to keep users out. I think this is on disruption of service. The next one is making illegal online purchases. I think this is on this identity theft. Impersonating someone to obtain credit. This is on identity theft also. Let's check. All of them are correct. Network security consists of the policies and practice adopted to prevent and monitor unauthorized access, misuse, modification, or denial of computer and network accessible resources. Data loss is an error condition in information systems in which information is destroyed by failures or neglect in storage, transmission, or processing. Information system implement backup and disaster recovery equipment and processes to prevent data loss or restore lost data. Identity theft. Identity theft, also known as identity fraud, is a crime in which an imposter obtains key pieces of personally identifiable and information such as social security or driver's license numbers in order to impersonate someone else. We will try this figure too. The instructions here is read the security management practices. Drag each management practice to the appropriate security management type. The first one is label critical cables and components. This is in maintenance. The next one is control temperature and humidity. This is on environmental. The next one is control access to console ports. I think this is also in maintenance. Use security cameras. This is on hardware. Create positive airflow. This is environmental. Install redundant power supplies. This is in electrical. Install UPS systems. This is also in electrical. And the last one is look up devices. Prevent unauthorized access. Let's check. All of them are correct. Network vulnerabilities may include distributed denial of service attacks which overload networks with frequent or high volumes of traffic or requests until it is no longer functional. Network maintenance basically means you have to do what it takes in order to keep a network up and running, and it includes a number of tasks. Environmental security examines threats posed by environmental events and threats to individual, communities, or nations. The hardware security is vulnerability protection that comes in the form of a physical device rather than software that is installed on the hardware of a computer system. This is the second activity here in Chapter 11 entitled Types of Attacks. Instructions. Determine the types of security attacks described. Drag each security attack type to its scenario. The first scenario is a computer is used as a print server for ACME Inc. Corporation. The IT staff failed to apply security updates to this computer for over 60 days. Now the print server is operating slowly and sending a high amount of malicious packets to its NIC. The attack type is, I think this is worm. The second scenario is Sharon, an IT intern at ACME Incorporation, noticed some storage packets while revising the security logs generated by the firewall. A handful of IP addresses on the internet were sending malformed packets to several different IP addresses at several different random ports number inside ACME Incorporation. I think this is reconnaissance. Let's check. All of those two are correct. So we will try this figure 2. The scenario is Jeremiah was browsing the internet from his personal computer when a random website offered a free program to clean his system. After downloading and running the executable, the operating system crashed. Crucial operating system related files had been corrupted, and Jeremiah's computer required a full disk format and operating system installation. I think this is virus. Ariana found a flash drive laying on the pavement of a mall parking lot. She asked around but couldn't find the owner. She decided to keep it and plug into her laptop, only to find a photo folder. Feeling curious, Ariana opened a few photos before formatting the flash drive for her own use. Afterwards, Ariana noticed that her laptop's camera was active. I think this is Trojan horse. Let's check. All of those two are correct, so we will try this figure 3. Angela, an IT staff member of ACME Incorporated, noticed that communication with the company's web server is very slow. After investigating, she determines that the cause of the slow response is due to a computer on the internet sending a very large number of malformed web requests to ACMS web service. I think this is denial of service or DOS. The second one is George needed to share a video with a coworker. Because of the large size of the video file, he decided to run a simple FTP server on his workstation to serve the video file to his coworker. To make things easier, George created an account with a simple password file and provided it to his coworker on Friday. Without the proper security measures or a strong password, the IT staff was not surprised to learn on Monday that George's workstation had been compromised and was trying to upload work-related documents to the internet. I think this is access. Let's check. All of those two are correct. In a computer, security reconnaissance is a type of computer attack in which an intruder engages with the target system to gather information about vulnerabilities. A virus is a computer program that attaches itself to legitimate programs and files without the user's consent. A worm is a malicious computer program that replicates itself usually over a computer network. A Trojan horse is a program that allows the attack to control the user's computer from a remote location. A denial of service attack overwhelms the system resources so that it cannot respond to a service request. This activity is entitled Show Commands. Instructions. Read the Show Commands scenarios. Drag each Show command to the field next to the appropriate scenario. The first scenario is you suspect there is a problem with the current switch configuration. You want to see the saved configuration so that you can compare it to what is currently running. I think this is Show Startup Config. The second scenario, you are on a call with the Cisco technical assistance personnel. They ask you for the switch IOS name, RAM and VRAM and flash available. They also ask for the hexadecimal boot location. I think this is show version. The third scenario is you are running the EIGRP routing protocol and need to know the update intervals and what active interface and network are being advertised by your router. I think this is show IP route. The fourth scenario, you cannot get to the internet. You need to find out if your router has a path to the internet and which protocols are being used to provide paths. I think this is show IP protocols. Your network documentation really needs to be updated. A quick listing of the IP addresses of your routers in relation to their MAC address would help finish the task for recording purposes. I think this is show ARP. The last scenario, a switch is the closest intermediate device to you. It has 24 ports. You want to see a simple list of the ports being used, their status, and the LAN IP address of the switch. I think this is show IP in brief. Let's check. All of them are correct. The show version starts simple. This command gives uptime, info about your software and hardware, and a few other details. Show IP interface brief. This command is great for showing up or down status of your IP interface as well as what the IP address is of each interface. It's mostly useful for displaying critical info about a lot of interface on one easy to read page. Show IP route. This indispensable command shows your routing table, which is usually the primary purpose of the box. Get to know the options on this command. Show ARP. Make sure that you're getting an ARP entry. This is the last activity entitled Order the Troubleshooting Steps. Instructions. Drag each step to the field next to its appropriate description. The first description is establish. No. We will find the step 1. The step 1 is we need to identify the problem. The step 2 is we need to establish a theory of probable causes rather. The step 3 is test the theory to determine cause. The step 4 is establish a plan of action to resolve the problem and implement the solution. The step 5 is verify full system functionality and implement preventive measures. The last step is document findings, actions, and outcomes. Let's check. All of them are correct. So, thank you for watching and God bless.